I honestly feel like Aura, they're not using their normal characteristic, the way of the draft where they're always just so flexible. It feels like every hero they picked here, it was all going to go into the lane as predicted, right? Beatrix, Yves, that's only going to go to the mid lane and the gold lane. We'll see though with this new draft. Let's see if Aura can make a difference, can make or break it, as Bigatron Alpha Key is already forced to flicker early on, going in for that very, very aggressive invade.
Man, like really just started here, and you can see Godiva trying to punish him out as well. And I do agree with you, there is kind of this weird distinction now with Aura Fire in this particular match, and there is a possibility that they might be hiding more of their cards, but here it is, the contest of the Lethal Wanderer.
Well, High is on the Esmeralda, my friends. It is an Esmeralda jungle.
Okay, never mind, yeah.
So already we're seeing something confusing. This is not what we expected, as Godiva goes onto Marino, and Key will be there to back him away, and Bigatron Alpha, they're being very aggressive towards Aura Fire's jungle.
Yeah, they know High is on Esmeralda, won't be able to farm really well, but it's actually Magic is chunked low, he's forced to run away, he uses the first ability, Fluffy picks up the first blood, and here it is, Moreno comes in, trading it back, Facehugger taken low, Key going on to High, onto Godiva, who goes in for the Earth Shatter, knocking Key up, and providing the utility for the kill to be taken. BTR losing in the early fight, Aura Fire lead 2-1.
2-1 now for the side of Aura Fire, and they're being not as aggressive, but they're being counter-aggressive from what Bigatron Alpha has been throwing at them. And this was something that we highlighted as well, right? From the side of Aura Fire, but wait a second here. Florizo 2 versus 1, he is still able to get out because he is on that Uranus with the Consecration as well. But like I was talking about before, is the fact that Aura Fire, when you feel like you can read their draft, they just come out with something unpredictable. But my question is an Esmeralda jungle still effective?
Well, considering the new meta where there'll be tanky members in the jungle with Demon Slayer emblem, just there to secure objectives and also gank for your team, I think Esmeralda plays the role quite well, and the teamfight from Aura here, the AoE.
Yeah, Max is gonna get taken down instantly there as Rizzo tries to look for an opening. Fluffy taken low, Moreno picking up that kill. Real world inflation still there by Facehugger, putting damage on to BTR, but the wild charge catches High, no mana, so Rizzo gonna get knocked up by Godiva, onward, picking the kill up, but it's just a 1-for-2 trade as Aura were able to take a turtle and a kill.
That 100% objective rate for the side of Bigatron Alpha has fallen this time around.
No.
I mean, they're so good at being able to zone out Max and even take him down. 2 minutes in, almost 3 minutes, and he's already died 2 times in order for Aura Fire to be able to secure those neutral objectives.
Oh, Matt with a cheeky steal, but yes, I agree with you, man. It's so weird, right? One time I was like, okay, Aura, they went for a predictable draft. Never mind. We get into the game, it's an Esmeralda jungle with a Demon Slayer emblem, Arashi.
Exactly, he is able to actually pierce quite well right now, and considering that there's a lot of fighters, essentially there's 3 fighters inside of Aura Fire, so that really gives you a lot of options to play around with in the early game. So I think it's a great approach, and it suits Aura Fire, and Bigatron trying to contest them early on in the jungle in those messy skirmishes. I think they're just playing right into Aura Fire's hands, so they need to try and play it a bit more calculatively, because Aura Fire, they are very happy to take those chaotic fights.
Ooh, again, there's just a lot of aggression from Godiva as he opens up the map. He doesn't have the flicker now, so he can't go for the onward flicker combo. BTR reads it really well, but take a look at the items. Matt has completed the DHS in the 3rd minute of the game. This is pretty fast.
Yeah, and we do have a fun fact here by Grab as well, where it states that in Season 9, from a total of 3 times meeting one another, it does seem like Bigatron Alpha never was able to win a match against Aura Fire. So if history speaks volumes, then we might know what the outcome will be. But what I know from Season 10 is everything is so unpredictable. We don't know what is going to work and what will not. Because right now, Aura Fire was leading in a sense, but it's only a 300 gold gap.
Well, you know, history can repeat itself, but Arashi, why do we learn history in class?
So we don't repeat the same mistakes.
There you go.
Exactly. So, again, this is the season of upsets, and Bigatron Alpha, they will have a chance, but Aura engages.
Man, Max just doesn't have room to play. He got instantly CC'd by Godiva, and you can see, even as a roamer, the damage that Godiva is placing onto BTR members is definitely not something they can scrape off. They can just look to the other direction. They need to have an answer for this, because that's the 2nd turtle taken away by Aura Fire without any contest from BTR.
Oof, it's just so difficult, because if they want to go aggressively towards the back line, there's so much crowd control from the Paquito, from the Edith, from High on the Esmeralda as well, just doing a lot of AoE damage to everyone. And if they don't, it's just very tanky in the front line. And then you can bet that Facehugger and Kabuki are gonna do a lot of damage from the back line. So Bigatron Alpha, they're put in a difficult spot. They have to commit on one of those two game plans, and I think diving is more orientated in their composition. But they have to out-rotate Aura and win in the setups to get those very, very needed combos.
Oh, wait, Matt, he went in for the BMI. Oh, no, he goes back out. Oh, my God, clutch there. Godiva almost catching him with the onward, but now it's a setup from Aura and BTR. Godiva going very deep under the turret here in the midst of it all. High coming in for the backup as well. Matt using the BMI, getting out. Key putting the wall down, trying to look for Aura, but High comes in. A wild charge was not enough to get him out of there as Kabuki's Nibiru was able to catch him. Moreno taken down. Oh my goodness, the burst. And it's going to be Aura looking for another pick onto Matt, who's still able to clear the waves with the Blazing Duet. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it seems like Aura Fire are trying to look for BTR. Onward, onto Max. Godiva flickering out of the Earth Shatter as he pops the ultimate to get out. Max still able to survive.
I mean, granted, the way that Aura Fire, how they're playing so aggressively and also trying to shut down Matt, and the fact that his power spike is not as early as the Beatrix, sitting at 000 right now, is not bad, right? It's not bad, especially with the Avarice emblem that he has chosen to use. He is going to be able to kind of level it out. He is one level behind right now, but with the way that he's playing, he is a very reliable source of, as a gold laner in that bottom side. I mean, look at this. High already putting a lot of pressure, even getting another objective in that bottom side, but Matt is still not able to be targeted.
And look at what BTR are doing. They instantly rotate towards that top side, knowing Esmeralda's down below, but even then, Moreno falls. Max looking for Retribution, gonna get Tain CC'd. He finds the Retribution. Sarisa gonna get taken low. Consecration isn't enough. Fluffy just knocks him out with the jab. That's the snipe as well. Connecting. You do not need to chase anyone when you have Kabuki on your team. Getting those snipes out of nowhere.
Man, 10-3 now in the 7th minute. They've actually crept up that gold lead to 2,000, almost 3,000 here. Now my question is, Arashi, how and what winning conditions does Bigatron Alpha need to be able to get this win?
Well, they gotta dive towards the backline, man. Facehugger is 1-0-9. Already 9 assists to his name. And for Kabuki, you saw yourself the snipes, the damage potential that they have. So Bigatron, they cannot get stuck on Fluffy, on High, on Godiva. They have to look past them and get to the targets that actually matter. They have tools right now. They got a lot of dashes. They have CC immunity by Key and a wild charge that can set them up. So they have to try and find some intel and maybe do some flanks and make sure they do get to that backline of Aura Fire. Because so far, just fighting it out like that, they lose out in AoE, they lose out in CC, and also in backline presence because Matt, as Eternal mentioned, has not reached his power spikes just yet.
I mean, for the moment, that seems very hard to even commit to right now because Aura Fire, look at the way that Facehugger is able to just zone everyone out, placing himself. His positioning has been so on point with the real world manipulation, so even if Bigatron Alpha, they want to look for a huge engage in a 5v5 situation, it seems rather difficult. How would they fare if they go for pickoffs? Do you think that would work?
They go for pickoffs. I think they lack a bit of the crowd control, man. They have burst essentially, but they have no reliable way to just try and catch someone off. And even then, they don't have the burst right now. And if you can see right there, Fluffy has that burst, and he actually will go a bit aggressively as the rest of Bigatron. They need everyone here just to deter the aggression from Aura Fire.
It's so tough for BTR. If you take a look at the high ground as well, this is why the Yves Beatrix has been a prio pick for BTR in the past. It's because of that poke and the range that it has, though. Keep jumping with wild charge, and that's the real world manipulation. Finding its mark, gets the shutdown onto the hands of Moreno. That's a lot of gold put onto the main man in the mid game for BTR.
That was a really good pickoff. I mean, taking away Kabuki, they might be looking for something else here.
Yeah, Chorizo in that back line just trying to disrupt as usual. Matt has a lot of stacks on his passive. Godiva forced to use the ultimate defensively, but Chorizo is the one who falls in this team fight. Max onto the Lord. High trying to dish out the damage once again. Aura Fire members are low. Kabuki's finally spawning back into the game, and BTR will choose to back off.
Wow, that was a very smart play by Bigatron Alpha. We just mentioned how they need a pickoff, and Key was able to sneak behind everyone and get that engage onto Kabuki, but Aura actually go for the Lord.
Oh man, that was a good wild charge by Key, but Aura Fire are able to recover from the wild charge. That's the turtle, the Lord actually slain. presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series. Fluffy dealing so much in that back line, actually.
He's doing so much damage. Like literally so much damage, because I saw his laning phase even against the Uranus, and he was chunking huge amounts of HP from someone like a Uranus. Like, how is that possible?
The new Pakiro just does a lot of damage if you know how to use the skills properly, right? If you can time your combos properly and actually use the right ones in the right moments, there's so much potential in this hero, and that is exactly why it's been just rising in popularity, like the new Axe effect.
Ooh, absolutely, man. The dual action, just like what they're trying to do here. Key gets the dual action, two-man knockup, but it's not enough. On the back line, Godiva gets the Earth Shatter, stopping Max from going in. Aura Fire once again using their heavy skirmishes to get turrets on the board. Kabuki with the snipes doesn't connect onto anyone, just goes in for a few render shots onto the turret, and look at how much damage he's dealing to the turret here in the 11th minute, even without minions. You can tell that the item power spikes are there for Kabuki. I'm pretty sure he has the BOD.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's one of the first two items that he should be making, and you can see that the setup from the side of Aura Fire has been so phenomenal in terms of team fight. They're able to use that real-world manipulation, but even if Bigatron Alpha, Max, or other members want to go in for that backline, they're either caught in the real-world manipulation or caught in the Earth Shatter like this.
There you go, just as you say. Godiva, though, he goes in very aggressively with the Flicker and onward now, forced to use that Retribution. Actually, no. Forced to use that ultimate backwards. It's going to be him taken out, and Bigatron Alpha have defended the Lord. They have to defend the bottom side, though. I don't think it's going to be available, though. Oh my god, man! Diving into that backline with the Wind of Nature. Pop, Kabuki taken so low, but BTR won't be able to find it. Perfectly walled there, as High will be trapped. Real world inflation again by Facehugger, putting on so much damage. High still surviving. He gets out of the damage from BTR, and it's Orizo's trying to run away. The snipes not connecting in the end. BTR fall back, and Aura Fire recover.
Aura Fire recover with a 6,000, almost 7,000 gold lead, and you can see how far behind they are as well in terms of levels. But in terms of items, how's it looking?
Well, Hai is just so farmed up, and he is so tanky, man. He has a good mix of physical and magic defense. So right there, he was caught out, but he was just calm, cool, collected. This is Aura in their absolute element. They are not afraid to take these weird fights and actually bring the fight to Bigatron Alpha. Kabuki was taken very, very low, so the win condition from Bigatron is the same, but Aura Fire are wisening up to the fact that they are actually diving towards that back line. They need to be a bit more careful with the positioning and maybe be a bit more diligent with the scouting for information, because Bigatron Alpha, they can play that vision game yet again and go for that backline dive.
I mean, even so, the Twins are 2 levels behind of respective Aura Fire. If I'm not mistaken, Max is 14, High is, we'll see in a bit, but they're 2 levels behind, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Aura Fire, even need to try to bait something out here. BTR, they're the ones who have to make a desperate play, and there you go. Fluffy with the knockout strike. 3 knockout strikes onto Max, and the follow-up as well, just to distract the BTR members for High to pick up the kill. Cerezo taken out. Moreno, he will not be able to run away here. That's the snipe once again by Kabuki, as the real-world manipulation locks him in place. Key forced to use the Flicker defensively, and just like that, it's 15-5. 8.7 thousand gold lead, and the Lord as well.
You could see that the wild charge barely missed. He was trying to steal the Lord, and that's something that we can give him credit for. But look at this, the recalls, the disrespect already coming in from Aura Fire.
They're gonna go straight for the base here. Max has to use the Retribution on the minions. There's so much damage coming out. Look at Fluffy, he's going all the way, almost taking Matt down, forcing him to use the BMI. Without that BMI, this is gonna be huge, as Aura Fire won't really have to look at Matt and feel a threat at all. Wall coming down, Aura Fire trying to siege down the base. Fluffy dealing the knockout strike over real world manipulation 2, man, as Key cancels Facehugger's real world. Matt jumping with the blazing duet all the way towards Fluffy. They're still not able to get anyone down. Kabuki with the Flicker to end the game. The Indonesian Terminator.
Wow, I don't know what to say. That was a massacre by Aura Fire. Just destroying Bigatron from that early game. They weren't able to do anything. Max wasn't able to get any objectives. He wasn't able to even farm. And interestingly enough, it was actually Bigatron trying to be the aggressive force against Aura Fire in that early game. But Aura Fire read that so well and was able to even counter-engage and just look for the moments, look for the mistakes that Bigatron made.
Well, Aura Fire has just an amazing game plan.
Wow.
Their composition is crisp and clean, and in every engagement, you can see that they know what to do. They know exactly what the win conditions are and what they need to aim for. They always attempt to try and bait out spells with the 3 tanky members, and then once everything is expended, the real manipulation comes in and just seals the deal for their team. And with that kind of composition, all the objectives are just taken on the back of amazing team fights, and they essentially force Bigetron Alpha to make the worst of decisions. I think Bigetron need to try and fix something up, man. Maybe put Key in something a bit more proactive, because Grok, with only 1 engaged tool, he was not able to make the plays that his team needs him to do to actually win the game.
I agree with you. We know how lethal Key is on something like a Cho, on a Jawhead even. Put him on those heroes. Sure, Jawhead may not be meta, but Cho certainly is the hero that has